upon the plates of brass. Wherefore the Lord hath commanded me that thou and thy brothers should go into the house of Laban and seek the records and bring them down hither into the wilderness. And now, behold, thy brothers murmur, saying, It is a hard thing which I have required of them. But behold, I have not required it of them, but it is a commandment of the Lord. Therefore go, my son, and thou shalt be favored of the Lord, because thou hast not murmured. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, said unto my father, I will go and do the things which the Lord hath commanded. For I know that the Lord giveth no commandments unto the children of men, save he shall prepare a way for them, that they may accomplish the thing which hath commanded. He commandeth them. And it came to pass that when my father had heard these words, he was exceedingly glad, for he knew I had been blessed of the Lord. And I, Nephi, and my brethren took our journey in the wilderness with our tents to go to the land of Jerusalem. It came to pass that when we had gone up to the land of Jerusalem, I and my brethren did consult one with another. And we cast lots, who of us should go into the house of Laban. It came to pass that the lot fell upon Laman. And Laman went in unto the house of Laban, and he talked with him as he sat in his house. And he desired of Laban the records which were engraven upon the plates of brass, which contained the genealogy of my father. And behold, it came to pass that Laban was angry, and thrust him out of his presence, and he would not that he should have the records. Wherefore he said unto him, Behold, thou art a robber, and I will slay thee. But Laman fled out of his presence, and told the things which Laban had done unto us. We began to be exceedingly sorrowful, and my brethren were about to return unto my father in the wilderness. But behold, I said unto them that as the Lord liveth, and as we live, we will not go down unto our father in the wilderness until we have accomplished the thing which the Lord hath commanded us. Wherefore let us be faithful in keeping the commandments of the Lord. Therefore let us go down to the land of our father's inheritance. For behold, he left gold and silver and all manners of riches, and all this he hath done because of the commandments of the Lord. For he knew that Jerusalem must be destroyed because of the wickedness of the people. For behold, they have rejected the words of the prophets. Wherefore, if my father should dwell in the land after he hath been commanded to flee out of the land, behold, he would also perish. Wherefore it must needs be that he flee out of the land. And behold, it is wisdom in God that we should obtain these records, that we may preserve unto our children the language of our fathers, and also that we may preserve unto them the words which have been spoken by the mouth of all the holy prophets, which he hath been delivered unto them by the Spirit and power of God, since the world began, even down unto this present time. And it came to pass that after this manner of language did I persuade my brethren, that they might be faithful in keeping the commandments of God. It came to pass that we went down to the land of our inheritance, and we did gather together our gold and our silver and our precious things. And it came to pass, and after we had gathered these things together, we went up again unto the house of Laban. And it came to pass that we went in unto Laban, and desired him that he would give unto us the records which were engraven upon the plates of brass, for which we would give him our gold and our silver and all our precious things. It came to pass that when Laban saw our property, and that it was exceedingly great, he did lust after it, inasmuch as he did thrust us out, and sent his servants to slay us, that he might obtain our property. And it came to pass that we did flee before the servants of Laban, and we were obliged to leave behind our property, and it fell into the hands of Laban. And it came to pass that we fled into the wilderness. And the servants of Laban did not overtake us, and we hid ourselves in the cavity of a rock. It came to pass that Laman was angry with me, and also with my father, and also with Lemuel, for he hearkened unto the words of Laman. Wherefore Laman and Lemuel did speak many hard words unto us, their younger brothers, and they did even smite us with a rod. And it came to pass, as they smote us with a rod, behold, an angel of the Lord came and stood before them, and he spake unto them, saying, Why do ye smite your younger brother with a rod? Know ye not that the Lord hath chosen him to be a ruler over you? And this because of your iniquities. Behold, ye shall go up to Jerusalem again, and the Lord will deliver Laban into your hands. And after the angel had spoken unto us, he departed. And after the angel had departed, Laman and Lemuel again began to murmur, saying, How is it possible that the Lord will deliver Laban into our hands? Behold, he is a mighty man, and he can command 50, yea, even he can slay 50. Then why not us? I like that chapter a lot. For me, it's one that has some really good points in it. And honestly, the first 7, where Nephi goes and tells his father that he'll go and do the things which the Lord is commanding him to do, is something super powerful. Because honestly, if we have that mindset to go and do the things which the Lord commands us to do, we're going to be able to progress through anything. And we'll have the strength of the Lord with us, which is something super important. And just how much faith Nephi had in the Lord. And you can see the lack of faith in Laman and Lemuel, and how at the very end they were saying how they're gonna be able to overtake Laban. They're doubting God and what he can do for them. But Nephi is firm and knows strongly of the things that the Lord can do. To continue on, sorry, I have to kind of rush through this because I have a meeting at 9 o'clock and it's 8:30 for me, and I didn't pay attention to the time. I also learned to the meeting a little late, but yeah, so I have a meeting to go to. But thank you guys so much once again for coming, joining, and thank you guys for being here. If you're watching after the fact, please leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm not going super in depth right now because I don't really know what people need. So I'm just reading through it. I'm giving us kind of, maybe if you're on the go, you can just listen to it or things like that. But on Sunday, I'll be doing an actual come follow me. It's a little lesson that I'll prepare. I'll make sure and have ready by Sunday. And then we can actually do a little bit more of a study, something to prepare for.
Car buyer, Carfax has your back. Take 2 identical cars. Carfax knows
And
that
it'll
one of the
be
cars had a happy
really
life
awesome.
and it's reported life before you,
For sure.
whereas the other car,
To continue on.
not so much.
Chapter
In the
4.
end, with
Nephi
Carfax,
slays
you
Laban
never
at
have
the
to
Lord's
overlap.
command,
Tip
and then
mystery
secures
how
the
to use
plates of
cars
brass by
with
stratagem.
Carfax. Click or tap
Zoram
right
chooses to
down
join Lehi's family in the wilderness. And it came to pass that I spake unto my brethren, saying, Let us go up again unto Jerusalem, and let us be faithful in keeping the commandments of the Lord. For behold, he is mightier than all the earth. Then why not mightier than Laban and his 50, yea, or even than his tens of thousands? Therefore let us go up, let us be strong like unto Moses, for he truly spake unto the waters of the Red Sea, and they divided hither and thither, and our fathers came through out of captivity on dry ground, and the armies of Pharaoh did follow, and were drowned in the waters of the Red Sea. Now behold, ye know that this is true, and ye also know that an angel hath spoken unto you, wherefore can ye doubt? Let us go up, the Lord is able to deliver us, even as our fathers, and to destroy Laban, even as the Egyptians. And now when I had spoken these words, they were yet wroth, and did still continue to murmur. Nevertheless, they did follow me up until we came without the walls of Jerusalem. And it was by night, and I caused that they should hide themselves without the walls. And after they had hid themselves, I crept into the city, and went forth towards the house of Laban. And I was led by the Spirit, not knowing beforehand the things which I should do. Nevertheless, I went forth, and as I came near unto the house of Laban, I beheld a man, and he had fallen to the earth before me, for he was drunken with wine. And when I came to him, I found it was Laban. And I beheld his sword, and drew it forth from the sheath thereof, and the hilt thereof was of pure gold, and that workmanship thereof was exceedingly fine, and I saw the blade thereof was of most precious steel. And it came to pass that I was constrained by the Spirit that I should kill Laban. But I said in my heart, Never at any time have I shed the blood of a man, and I shrunk and would that I might not slay him. And the Spirit said unto me again, Behold, the Lord hath delivered him into thy hands. Yea, and I also knew that he had sought to take away mine own life. Yea, and he would not hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, and he also had taken away our property. And it came to pass that the Spirit said unto me again, Slay him, for the Lord hath delivered him into thy hands. Behold, the Lord slayeth the wicked to bring forth his righteous purposes. It is better than that one man should perish than a nation should dwindle and perish in unbelief. And now, when I, Nephi, had heard these words, I remembered the words of the Lord, which he spake unto me in the wilderness, saying, Inasmuch as thy seed shall keep my commandments, and they shall prosper in the land of promise. Yea, and I also thought that they could not keep the commandments of the Lord according to the law of Moses, save they should have the law. And I also knew that the law was engraven upon the plates of brass. And again I knew that the Lord had delivered Laban into my hands for this cause, that I might obtain the records according to his commandments. Therefore I did obey the voice of the Spirit, and took Laban by the hair of his head, and smote off his head with his own sword. And after I had smitten off his head with his own sword, I took the garments of Laban, and put them upon mine own body, yea, even every whit, and I did gird on his armor about my loins. And after I had done this, I went forth unto the treasury of Laban. And as I went forth towards the treasury of Laban, behold, I saw the servant of Laban, who had the keys of the treasury. And I commanded him in the voice of Laban that he should go with me into the treasury. And he supposed me to be his master, Laban, for he beheld the garments, and also the sword girded about my loins. And he spake unto me concerning the elders of the Jews, he knowing that his master Laban had been out by night among them. And I spake unto him as if it had been Laban. And I also spake unto him that I should carry the engravings which are upon the plates of brass to my elder brethren who were without the walls. And I also bade him that he should follow me. And he, supposing I spake of the brethren of the church, that I was truly the Laban whom I had slain, wherefore he did follow me. And he came to pass, and he spake unto me many times concerning the elders of the Jews, as I went forth unto my brethren who were without the walls. And it came to pass that when Laman saw me, he was exceedingly frightened, and also Lemuel and Sam, and they fled from before my presence, for they supposed it was Laban, that he had slain me, and had sought to take away their lives also. And it came to pass that I called after them, and they did hear me, wherefore they did cease to flee from my presence. And it came to pass that when the servant of Laban beheld my brethren, he began to tremble, and was about to flee from before me, and returned to the city of Jerusalem. And now I, Nephi, being a man large in stature, and also having received much strength of the Lord, therefore I did seize upon the servant of Laban, and held him that he should not flee. And it came to pass that I spake with him, that if he would hearken unto my words, as the Lord liveth, and as I live, even so, that if he would hearken unto our words, we would spare his life. And I spake unto him, even with an oath, that he need not fear, that he should be a free man like unto us, if he would go down into the wilderness with us. And I also spake unto him, saying, Surely the Lord hath commanded us to do this thing, and shall we not be diligent in the commandments of the Lord? Therefore, if thou wilt go down into the wilderness to my father, thou shalt have place with us. And it came to pass that Zoram did take courage at the words which I spake. And now Zoram was the name of the servant, and he promised that he would go down into the wilderness unto our father. Yea, and he also made an oath unto us that he would tarry with us from that time forth. Now we were desirous that he should tarry with us for this cause, that the Jews might not know concerning our flight into the wilderness, lest they should pursue us and destroy us. And it came to pass that when Zoram had made an oath unto us, our fears did cease concerning him. And it came to pass that we took the plates of brass and the servant of Laban, and departed into the wilderness, and journeyed unto the tent of our father. Perfect. No, that was a good 2 chapters. I could get in one more, but I'm going to leave it at that. Just because I don't want to be late for my meeting. But thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was super short. I'll give a little bit of my thoughts on the chapter. I really like this chapter. Really, the first 4 chapters of First Nephi I really like, because it teaches us some important principles. Number 1, it's teaching us that we need to pray to be able to receive revelation from God. 2, it's teaching us that we need to leave things behind. That's how God does things. He has us leave things behind. Chapter 3 shows the opposition that'll come into our lives, and chapter 4 shows us the principle of how to defeat that opposition. And so There are many different principles we can pull out of every chapter, every verse of the scriptures, and it's something really powerful, and it's done with the Spirit. And it's done to bless each of our lives in a certain aspect in which we need it. But yeah, so I want to leave you guys with that, and thank you so much for coming and watching a little bit. I know it was super short, but I hope you guys had a ton of fun. But I'll leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys have a great rest of your day. I will end off with a prayer and we'll end off this stream. Dear Father in heaven, we're so very thankful for this time that we've had together today. We're thankful for the opportunity we had to study the scriptures. We're thankful for thy love and guidance that thou gives unto us each and every day. Father, we thank thee for thy Son, Jesus Christ, and his sacrifice that he did for us, that we may be able to live and do well. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.